Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to incorporate short-term memory into your chatbot. In previous tutorial we made this simple chatbot but it was without the memory. So now in this video we'll incorporate the short-term memory using by storing it on the front end, and let's get started. Alright, so let's add a short-term memory to this simple chatbot. I have actually two options. Either I store the memory on the server side, which is the backend, or I can store it on the client side, which is the front end. So in this video, I'm going to store it on the client side. If you are not sure how we come up with all this, make sure to watch the previous tutorial. We are moving step by step, and we have backend folder and front end folder. Here I have the JavaScript file. So if I go to my script.js file, here I can see this is the function called setMessage. Let's see where it is being called. What I'm gonna do is I will define a variable called my short term memory equals this. Initially it will be an empty array. Okay, so I also have to alter my function called sendMessage. Right now it does not take any parameter. I will force it to take a parameter. I will pass this parameter over here, my short-term memory, and also I have to add it over here. Now this function takes this parameter, short-term memory. If I scroll down, this is the API call we are sending to backend. So what I will do is, as soon as I get the response from backend, then I'm going to update this array. I can type my short-term memory dot push user. Here I'm going to add a user's message. This is where I will get the user message, but it is getting empty over here. So I'm going to create a copy of it and say underscore message. And I will not empty this. I will literally append this over here. And also I need to add the AI's message. So I will type AI. This is the variable in which I have the AI message, and I'm going to write it over here. So now my memory array is getting updated. And also let's check it out, console.log memory array, my short term. Okay, let's check it in the console and see if it is actually working. Let's open inspect element. If I say hi, this is the memory array. Okay, it is updated as you can see. Now if I say hello, now it is again updated. As you can see, I have the previous two messages between the client and the server. So next what I'll do is I have to alter this API call. Right now I'm just sending the input prompt to the backend. Now I also have to send the memory. I will say previous. I'll say short term memory. And here I'm going to pass this variable called my short term memory. So now this array is going to the backend, but on the backend we have to receive it as well, right? So I'll go back to the app.py file, and here I can just write short-term memory equals. Okay, so this is the variable in which I'm getting the array from the front end. I also have to pass this to this function called getResponse. So I'll just pass it over here, and I also will alter this function to take two parameters now instead of one. Now I have this short-term memory over here. What I can do is I'll iterate through this array and append the messages over here. So I'll write for I in short-term memory message.append role user content, and in content I'll type I user, because this is the key in this array in which we have the user's message. And I'll make a copy of it and call it assistant, and here I'll say AI. This is the second key, right? So this is how we can add the memory. We are going to test it now. So let me save this. Let me save the file on the front end. Okay, I'm getting error. Okay, so my bad. I have to remove this line of code. It's just extra redundant. Now if I run my backend Flask server, and I'll go back to the chat and let me refresh this and say hi there, I ate biryani yesterday. So it's the same message you saw initially. Hi, that's great to hear. How did you like the biryani? Anyway, the next question I'm going to ask is, what did I eat yesterday? Yesterday you mentioned that you had eaten biryani. Is there anything else I can do? And so on. As you can see now, it knows. You see the difference initially before the memory and after the memory. So this is how you can incorporate short-term memory. We also have to add one small change, because if we continue this conversation, the number of tokens will increase and eventually we will run out of tokens. I'm going to add a small check so that we can control the length of our array. So I'll only allow previous 6 or 7 messages. For that, I can put a check over here. Okay, for that, I'm going to use ChatGPT. ChatGPT gave me this function. If I copy this function and paste it here somewhere, now I can use this function and pass the array, and I'll just write my short-term memory. So now the length of this array will never exceed the length 6. Okay, on the backend app.py, I also have to set a limit of total number of characters. If I say if length input from greater than 400, return length exceeded. Okay, now let's test if things are working fine. If I say hi, I got an array length 1, hello, hey, just to test out if the check is actually working. After the then 6, it should stop increasing. Okay, here it is. I have the previous 6 messages. Now, if I say, hey there, it is still 6, but it is removing the very first element. We have implemented FIFO over here, first in, first out. Anyway, we have successfully incorporated the short-term memory. I will share the code with you. You will find the link in the description below. And if you don't know how we come up with all this, make sure to watch the previous 2 tutorials, and you will get to know step by step how we are doing all this. And thank you so much for watching.